to invest in crypto, right? So I'm trying to keep you all updated tomorrow. Tomorrow will be a busy day for me, but I will try to do that. Yes, Kenzie says a new generation of Black wealth is here. We are waking up, spread the knowledge. And I'm spreading to everybody, Black, brown, Caucasian, Asian, Hispanic, whatever, I'm spreading to everybody that I can, right? And this last thing that I want to leave you all on is one thing that Brian brought out in his live stream is that the money that you need is already in your paycheck. This is what Dave Ramsey and Suze Orman don't teach you. Without working overtime, without getting a promotion, the money that you need is already there. And I was reminded of the scripture of Matthew 17, the temple tax, when he made that statement, the temple tax. And the temple tax, Matthew 17:24, it starts, after Jesus and his disciples arrived at Capernaum, the collectors of the two drachma temple tax came to Peter and asked, right? You all know Peter is the fisherman, right? Simon Peter that lended God his boat, and he was in his business was in a drought, lended his boat for the teaching and preaching of the gospel, and God automatically increased his business, told him to go out into the deep. In other words, to get out of your comfort zone, get out of your comfortability. That's the thing that stopped in Matthew 25, the parable of the sowers, the man with one talent from prospering. He just wanted to stay in his comfort zone, right? See, he did some work. He did some activity rather. But the other man that received the 5 talents of gold and then the 2 talents, and he received 1, he worked one time and wanted, right? He didn't go immediately. It does not say he went. The man with the 5 talents immediately went in the marketplace and put it into work. And the man with the 2 talents, it did not say immediately, but he put, and it does say that he received 2 more talents. But the man with 1 talent just wanted to stay in his comfort zone, right? Wanted to do little activity, what a lot of people do on their 9-to-5 jobs. Right? They think about, if I get in an opportunity of collaboration in which I can get compensated to share with others, I don't like being told no. You can learn a lot of things from children about acceptance of hearing the word no. No is a complete sentence. And people that don't have a financial education might will tell you no, right? But you have to be like a child. A child doesn't care about a no. They keep being persistent until they get what they want, right? Unless they're threatened with a whipping or a beating. But that's a whole nother story. But they are persistent. It's only adults, when you get into adults and America and your culture has told you that being told no is a bad thing. No, it's a great thing, because when you go through a lot of no's, that means you're going to get a lot of yeses, right? And you're going to learn, right? As Brian says, fear means fail early, and with resilience, and just go ahead, right? And rapidly fail early and rapidly, right? In order to get to the next level, go ahead and go through. The Bible says, let the wheat and tare grow together. Go ahead and go through all of that the weed that looks like grass, right? So that the grass can come in and overtake the weed, right? And so this is the disciples. They had taxes due. And Matthew 17:24, it says Does your teacher pay tax to pay the temple tax? They asked the disciples, the tax collectors. And Peter answered and said, yes, he does. So when Peter came into the house, Jesus was the first to speak. Yes, they did have a house. You know, some people take that scripture, Son of Man had nowhere to lay his head, out of context. They were saying that Jesus' mission was not to be just stationary in a house. His mission was to be out and about his father's business. But, anyway, when he came into the house, Jesus was the first to speak or ask a question. He said, what do you think, Simon? He asked. From whom do kings of the earth collect duty and taxes from? Do they collect this from their own children or from others? Right? Do they collect this from their own children or from others? And this is what I want you all to see. Peter answered, from others. Listen, the king's children, as Brian said, don't pay taxes. For all my religious people, I'm the king's kids. Then why are you getting taxed 30-40% out of your paycheck? Why are you paying the highest amount of taxes? See, from whom do the kings of the earth? See, taxation is an earth government system. And when you have a home-based business, you legally have the divine rights to 475 tax deduction. As an employee, you only have 9 exemptions at the most. So if you're a king's kid, you should have the king's knowledge of how to operate in this earth realm. And then it goes on, said, then the children, and see, people perish because of lack of knowledge. Lack of knowledge, and also receiving knowledge from uncreditable people. Then the children, look at Jesus said to him, the king's children should be tax exempt. You know why you are not tax exempt? You're too cheap and uneducated about the tax exemptions of a home-based business and its financial currency system in the earth. You don't feel like this investment is enough. But even the Bible talks about exemption of taxes for the king's children. And it's connected to a house when Peter came into the house, which is a clue about the tax deduction that you should have through a home-based business, especially if you're a kingdom's kid or king's kid and you're operating in kingdom economy. But so that we might not cause offense, go to the lake and throw your line, because Jesus said you're supposed to be exempt. You are in my kingdom. But just so we won't offend the tax collectors in this earth, take the first fish you catch, open his mouth, and find a 4. The number 4 is prophetic for what will happen in the earth realm. Drachma coin, right, which is a currency. That's why gold and silver has to be used to reset this currency system that we will enter into in 2022, as cash is now being converted into cryptocurrency. Take it and give them my tax and yours. So I tell people you need to know what silver and gold to buy, which ones you do not. On the resale, you have to turn in for a 1099 for taxation purposes. And I'm logging off, right? Maggie B says, I'm hearing crypto is crashing. I'm so confused. Who are you hearing this from? There's no reason to be confused. Just do your own research. Go to the website, coin360.com, and tell me, does a 2% in Bitcoin represent a crash? That's a dip. Does 3% as Ethereum hit its all-time high? Looks like a crash. Everything in the red is 2 and 1%. Solana has produced over 900% gains for the year. That doesn't sound, the dollar is crashing. That's what's crashing. As you see, your rising is able to purchase less and less. Brian covered this at the beginning of this video. That's what's crashing the dollar. And Shiba Inu is expecting having a big day tomorrow, as it's up 10% on today. Look at the maximum supply, all of those zeros, right? So again, I'll try to keep you updated. But do your own research and due diligence, because the dollar is what's crashing, because we're changed to a new currency system, right? Maggie B, I have no idea what you're talking about, China-based. You know, I don't even know what, I'm not even going to try to answer that. So I'm logging off. Text home-based business, Matthew 17, 601-720-2063. Have your tax shelters in place. Know the kids, the kingdom economics. You're supposed to be tax exempt under the house protection. So get more cash flow to invest in your cryptocurrency, to invest in the new economic system, as we're reaching the greatest wealth transfer that this generation has ever experienced. A massive redistribution. Thalamus Deal, thank you for the 1111 super chat. A massive redistribution of wealth. As you see, John Deere reaches a tentative deal with striking workers. And so for all the people that want to farm their own land, right now we might have an issue of getting John Deere farming equipment in for the large acres, or bigger than that, for the farmers. As employees at the United Auto Workers see a wage increase of 10%, and they will also be given an $8,500 in bonus, and the cost of their health insurance will be locked in to prevent increases. So more than 10,000 there's the number 10 again, John Deere employees have been on strike, people, since mid-October. So this is going to affect farming equipment, right? And so they're trying to reach an agreement. But look at how Thalamus give the 1111. 10,000 workers, 100 employees, facilities at Atlanta and Denver have been reached, right? 11 is that 1 hour mark before midnight, which is at midnight, everything resets. And tomorrow will be 11/1, November the 11th, in the Gregorian calendar. And in the Hebrew Jewish calendar, is going to be the number 9 as a divine transition. I'm not on here to convince anybody about cryptocurrency. If you want me to walk you through baby steps and let you convince you that crypto is going to replace the cash system, then that's this not that. I'm not doing that, right? I've did too many videos. You're welcome to go back and research it yourself about about the Shemitah, about the transition of the greatest wealth transfer, along with the greatest depression, the Tale of Two Cities, Charles Dickens scenario that's happening. And Maggie, a great place to start, honey, would be my Cash on Crypto book. It talks about every recession we've been through, how it's biblically predicted. Every 7 years, the last one was 2015. September the 7th started this, because we have shifted from a pandemic to pandemonium. Most people thought that that's it. You know, the worst is behind us. No, the worst and the best of times are ahead of us. And the Tale of Two Cities, Charles Dickens, explains it. I think very, very well, right? And also I'm having a Millionaire Moves meeting November 19th through the 21st. Go to the website 1111millionairemoves.com. And Thalamus, thank you for the 1111 super chat. I pray that that reaches you um, immediately by divine right, and that great avalanches of abundance come your way in all areas, from peace of mind, from holistic health, from holistic relationships, multiplied money, multiplied peace, and multiplied protection and provision, and health in this time of transition, right? The Tale of Two Cities, it was the best of times, it was the worst of times. It was the age of wisdom, it was the age of foolishness, it was the epoch of belief, it was the epoch of incredulity, right? And it was the season of light, and at the same time, it was the season of darkness. It was spring of hope. It was the winter of despair. We had everything before us. At the same time, we had nothing before us. We were all going direct to heaven. We were all going direct the other way. In short, the period was so far like the present period that some of its nosiest authorities insisted on it being received for good or for evil, and the superlative degree of comparison only. That's the excerpt from A Tale of Two Cities. We are in the tale of two currency systems, right? The tale of two currency systems. The greatest wealth transfer simultaneously with the greatest depression since 1929. People, you need to position yourself for prosperity, or you can do nothing like the man in Matthew 25 and position yourself for great poverty, right? I'm signing out. Listen.